Otto Wallin joins Max on Boxing all the way from Sweden. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, congratulations on the effort you put up in a losing effort ultimately, but it was heroic in certain ways. What was the reception like when you got back to Sweden?
I have had a great reception. You know, some people came visit me at the airport, you know, media. Then when I went home to my hometown, there was a lot of people stopping me in the street saying that I put up a good fight. And now I'm in Stockholm and people stop me on the street over here. So it's changed pretty much since the fight. And I can see that more people know who I am, and I'm happy because I feel like they're showing a lot of support, and I'm happy with that.
But Otto, you were boxing more or less evenly with him early. What were you thinking after the first couple rounds about the situation?
You know, it's a fight and you can't really think too much, but we were prepared for Fury, and I felt that things were going my way and how I wanted it to play out early on. So I was very happy, and I felt that I belonged in there with him, and, you know, I just tried to do everything I could.
And you landed a left hand, southpaw landed a big left hand that opened a cut over his eye, a bad gash. Early in a fight, that's a very good thing if you're fighting for a title, for the heavyweight championship of the world. Your corner, Joey Gamache, told you to target the cut, which I thought early was a good idea. Before we even get into Andre Ward's criticism of that strategy later in the fight, you at one point actually raked the cut with the heel of your glove. I thought it was smart, but also unsportsmanlike, obviously. Tyson Fury complained about it. I'd like to hear you comment on that move.
You know, I was on a big stage. I wanted to win very bad. And it's a fight. I wasn't there to be friendly with Tyson. I didn't want to be his friend. Like, I feel like some of the guys let him be awkward and stuff, and I didn't want to have him be comfortable in there. So I wanted to show him that he was in a fight. But that particular move wasn't good.
Would you do it again, or have you learned from that experience that you wouldn't have made that move again?
I probably wouldn't have done that if I can do it over.
Okay, good to know. This is why I asked the question. Do you regret, so Andre Ward's criticism after the fight, and I agreed with it to a point. Early on, I thought it was smart to target the cut. See if you can get a TKO stoppage, right? But over time, it seemed you got so obsessed with targeting the cut that you went away from the boxing that caused the cut in the first place. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a good point. Our game plan was to target the body a lot because he's a big guy and he's awkward and he's very hard to hit to the head. So we want to target the body, and that's what I started off doing. And maybe when he got the cut, I went a little bit too much for it. But me and Joey felt that any punch can change the whole fight and it can be stopped. So it's hard when you're on that big stage and you know the fight can get stopped any moment if I just hit him with the right punch.
Your camp was frustrated, Otto, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Your camp was frustrated with the fact that ESPN told Fury's team, Bernardo Osuna in the corner, that the cut came from a punch and not a headbutt, because they were under the impression, the ref had told them, that it was a headbutt. The commission then said, no, we saw a replay, it was a punch. So if the fight were to be stopped, he loses. And getting that information advantaged him in certain ways, you could say philosophically, but I'm on the fence. I think we did the right thing because it was true what we said, but there is an argument that we didn't because we weren't simply observers. We became a participant in the event in a way and intervened. What is your thought about that?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't like it because I think that the commentators and the people that are on the side that is not a part of the fight, like the referee, I mean, it's not their job to tell anything. So I didn't think that he should have told that.
Yeah, right. And by the way, I don't think the point was to let him know. The point was to understand their strategy at that moment, and there was no real way to do that honestly without giving them that information. But I understand it's a legitimate point of view to say that wasn't the right thing to do. I'm on the fence. I lean toward we did the right thing. That was a tough call in my view. You seem to be pacing yourself, having never been in that situation before, having success in the early rounds. He moves the fight to the inside. First, he started having much more success on the inside. Why was that?
He's a big guy, and he was heavy, and he leaned on me, tried to tire me out. He hit me with a few good shots, and yeah, I mean, it worked for him. And I gotta study the tape when I get back to New York. I gotta get with Joey and study the tape and see what went wrong there, and just try to work on that to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Do you have any thoughts of what you could have done differently at this point?
Yeah, I shouldn't have let him catch me on the ropes, leaning on me and, bringing the fight like that. I should have kept moving, but I should have stood up to him also on the inside and show that I can fight in there too. But yeah, he did a good job in there.
Did you feel his punching power on the inside? He's not known as a puncher, but he's a big guy, and he has said that Emanuel Stewart once told him in camp that he was one of the biggest punchers ever on the mitts. Did you feel his power on the inside?
No, I can't say that I felt that he hit me with any huge shot, but he hit me with shots, and he's a big guy, so of course he's gonna have power, but not any. I didn't feel any devastating shots, no.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.